Thanks for joining us tonight. Veronica is on assignment. This Tuesday is Election Day in Santa Cruz, and every registered voter should have already received their ballot in the mail. Asking voters one question: should 20% of the revenue from the city's cannabis business tax be allocated to youth and early childhood development services? KION's Lisa Principe is live in the studio with what voters need to know before they cast their vote. Hey, Lisa.
If Measure A passes, 20% of that cannabis business tax in the city will go towards early childhood development. This would not increase the cannabis tax, but it will help provide more funding for childcare, after school, and summer programs. Voters in the city of Santa Cruz only have one thing to decide on come Tuesday: whether or not to increase the portion of the city's cannabis tax that's used to fund services for early childhood education and childcare, otherwise known as Measure A.
It also provides really important support for student access to parks and recreation, after school and summer programming. So recreation after school that keeps kids safe and engaged in positive activities. Right now, City Council allocates 12.5% of the annual cannabis tax towards the Santa Cruz Children's Fund. $176,000 were generated in the 2020 fiscal year. An impartial analysis of the measure estimates Measure A would increase that amount to $340,000. It would also make the fund permanent.
A future council would not be able to rescind that contribution to the Children's Fund. If we wanted to change this contribution, it would have to go back to the voters.
There has been no official argument filed against Measure A. However, some have problems with how much this election will cost the city, with only one question on the ballot.
And from what I understand, the city council could already approve it for this year and would. And instead, somebody put in Article 147 to $178,000. It will cost for this election.
But advocates argue that the pandemic has accelerated the need for these funds.
We know that families, young families in particular, were under stress before COVID, and they're under considerably more stress now. And our families' children are under tremendous stress. And you know what it takes to support those kids, frankly? It takes resources.
The measure would also create a community oversight committee consulting with education and child development partners on how to best spend those funds. You can read more on how money from the Children's Fund has previously been spent at our website, KION546.com. Back to you.